Okay, sit down. It's time we had the talk. You see, there are these birds and, there are these bees and they pollinate flowers. The end. Is that how it goes? This is Myths You Still Believe, the series all about explaining the truth behind the most commonly believed myths. And today we're covering a somewhat uncomfortable topic for some, but nonetheless a very important one: the lies you might still believe about sex. Not only will this save some of you some serious embarrassment, but it could also potentially save your life. These are the things that they didn't but should have explained in sex ed class. But hey, at least you're learning about them now. This is 7 myths you still believe about sex. You can't get an STI from oral sex. While it's true that the risk of contracting a sexually transmitted infection or disease is reduced by having oral sex instead of vaginal or anal sex, this is still one of the main ways diseases are spread. The best way to look at it is like this: any time that you skip protecting yourself in the form of a barrier method, such as a condom, you run the risk of gaining a bacterial infection in the form of chlamydia, gonorrhea, syphilis, or worse. A good rule of thumb, especially if you have more than one partner, is to always play any sexual encounter as safe as possible. The bigger, the better. Guys, listen up. The G-spot is located just over 5 centimeters inside a woman's vagina. So for guys, this means anything more than a couple inches and you've got the equipment needed. Truth be told, penis size is more important to the ego of men than it is satisfaction of women. And while yes, it is true that some women prefer larger endowed men, that's simply personal preference. Believe it or not, oftentimes if a man is too big, he will actually fail to stimulate the woman's G-spot altogether. The pill makes you gain weight. There have been a large number of women who have claimed that oral contraceptives, such as the pill, are responsible for them gaining weight. However, according to several doctors, there is little to no scientific evidence that there is any correlation between the pill and weight gain. There are a number of reasons why people gain weight, men and women alike, including getting heavier with age due to a decrease in metabolism. So don't let that myth stop you. Better safe than sorry. Big feet means a big member. This is just another old wives' tale. The idea is, of course, if a man has large feet, hands, ears, nose, or mouth, and has lots of hair on his head, or just happens to be very tall, his mini-me will be similarly large. Enter science! In 1999, a group of Korean researchers took a group of 655 men and measured them every which way. What they discovered is that while there's some correlation between the length of the penis and its circumference, there is no such correlation between either length or girth and any other measurement, feet, height, or otherwise. Having sex burns a lot of calories. It's a common belief that having sex is a good workout. I mean, after all, it usually ends up with both parties sweating and exhausted. But the truth is, it's not as great a calorie burning exercise as you might think. According to a recent study published in the New England Journal of Medicine, a 154-pound man burns only around 3.5 calories per minute during intercourse, leading to an average total of only 21 calories for the entire workout. So, though it might feel like a strenuous workout, it's not a good workout replacement for a visit to the gym, or for that matter, even a walk around the block. There are pills to make a man bigger. Sorry fellas, contrary to those ridiculous ads, pop-ups, and spam emails that say that you can have a larger member with pills, special herbs, exercises, or otherwise, there exists no such successful method purchasable on the internet. This myth was obviously created with the sole purpose of selling useless products to people who are so worried about their penis size that they'll simply ignore the obvious reality that those companies are bold-faced lying. The average male penis length is 8.8 centimeters or 3.5 inches flaccid and 12.9 centimeters or 5.1 inches erect. The only way for a man to successfully increase length or girth is through surgery. At the end of the day, I wouldn't say that's worth it. Just chill with what you've got. It's easy to tell if a woman is a virgin. Contrary to popular belief, an intact hymen absolutely does not guarantee virginity. Follow me on this. The hymen is a membrane that surrounds or partially covers the external vaginal opening. In fact, a broken or stretched one does not guarantee sexual activity. Not only is it possible for a woman to break it while, say, horseback riding, doing gymnastics, or performing other physically demanding activities, but it's also possible for her to have sex without doing any damage to it, and thus the hymen remains unchanged. And now you've learned what Sex Ed probably didn't teach you. As always, my friends, if you enjoyed this, give it a like, and be sure to push the links in the description, which will subscribe you to this channel as well as my vlog channel so that you never miss a video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you soon. Stay safe out there. There's a lot of weird stuff.